Hello, my name is MacDonald, and I'd like to welcome you to my farm. I'm going to take you around here in a minute, and I'm going to show you a couple things that you might find useful if you think that you'd like to become a farmer. So, stick around, and hopefully, maybe you might just learn something.
Mac, are you aware that you're not wearing any pants?
I'll see what the big deal is.
Your cable TV is experiencing difficulties. Please do not panic. Resist the temptation to read or talk to loved ones. Do not attempt sexual relations, as years of TV radiation have left your genitals withered and useless.
Well, I'll be damned.
Howdy. Welcome back. They made me put some pants on. And, well, I can't say that I like it all that much, but I think I should be able to walk around my property naked as a jaybird. But I don't know, these producer Hollywood types, they say that you got to put on the pants if you want to be on the films. So, I put on the pants, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to formally reintroduce myself. My name is MacDonald, and I would like to welcome you to my farm. That's right. This instructional video, if we can call it that, is designed to... what's the word I'm looking for here? Get you learnt on the ways of farming around these parts. Now, there are a couple of... well, before I get into all that, I'd just like to take a minute, and I would like to, can you get close up? You already did it. Okay. I would like to introduce my friend here. This is one of them Chibic creations from, I don't know, some science vial somewheres. The same place they done made my sister, according to my grandpappy. Then again, grandpappy was a drunk. Anyway, this here is Yeehaw, and I'd like everybody to just meet him. Moving on. They equipped me with this here body cam, so I guess y'all can see what eyes be seeing, which is kind of nice. Now I know it looks a little menacing the way I'm holding a pitchfork, but anyway, let's get on old clip clop here. We'll head down to the barn, and there are a couple of hives that my great grandpappy started that are still here on the farm today. And we'll get to that. But anyway, so this here, what are you doing, Mr. Producer Man? Are you gonna...
just act as if I'm not here. I can edit all this later.
Oh, alright then. Anyway, so yeah, this here is the barn, and such is, you know, where you keep certain stuff and things. This here is someone who comes all the way. I can't really remember, but I know his name is Finn, and I think he's from France. I can't really remember now. Sven from France. Yeah, that sounds about right. But anyway, he don't speak much of the English. How about you say hello, Sven?
Show me your ass.
He always saying that funny French stuff all the time to me. I mean, it was a little weird. He was looking at me when I was in the goat hut there a little while ago. But so that's where we're gonna start our tour right here. So here's what you want to do with these guys here. And I'm not 100% sure why I don't have any on hand, because Mr. Producer type over there was telling me yesterday what all I needed, and Dora Linda done gone off to the bingo. And I don't have none of that sweet veggie cake to show y'all. So, I don't know, Mr. Producer Man, you're going to have to throw something on the screen so that they know what the hell I'm talking about. So, that's where we're going to start our tour right here. So, here's what you want to do with these guys here. And I'm not 100% sure why I don't have any on hand, because Mr. Producer type over there was telling me yesterday what all I needed. And Dora Linda done gone off to the bingo, and I don't have none of that sweet veggie cake to show y'all. So I don't know, Mr. Producer Man, you're gonna have to throw something on the screen so that they know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, you're gonna need some of that. And I tell you why you're gonna need some of that. Because you're gonna want to tame as many ovis as you possibly can. And the reason that you want to tame ovis, 2 reasons. Number 1, you can shave them and get wool. And wool replaces fur. So if you've got a bunch of ovis running around, you don't have to go out farming for pelt. You don't have to be killing all them mammoths for nothing. You just use this. This is renewable. This is, you know, this is good stuff here. Anyway, did I say that there were 2 reasons? Because I really meant that there was 3 reasons you want to get yourself some ovis. So number 1 is you get the wool. Perfect. Number 2 is they provide babies. Now, what do you need babies for? That we're going to get into that. That's number 2 why you want to keep a bunch of ovis around. And number 3, the reason you want to keep a bunch of ovis around is, well, they're so goddamn cute. I mean, look at them. Look at them. They is cute. They is cute. So that's why we keep them around. Now, it's Sven's job here. I've never seen this man move, but this man here, his job is to make sure that all the animals in a barn get fed. And in this case, make sure that when the females drop the offspring, he picks them up, brings them over to the baby wing. He got a whole job. I never see him move. He don't ever move right from this spot. All he ever says to me is stuff like what he said earlier. Right, Sven? I watch you while you sleep. See, there you had it again. God damn. Shit. Anyway, so that's why you want to get yourself a bunch of ovis. Why is there ponies in the barn? Because where else would you put a pony? If you got a barn, you got to have ponies. Looks good there. Alright, so you might be wondering why we have a bunch of owls. And there's a bunch of reasons why we have a bunch of owls. Number 1, they're awesome. Number 2, they're awesome. Number 3, they have thermovision, which can see element veins in the ground, which is mind-blowing. Number 4 or 8, whatever number we're on, they're awesome. But also, another good reason to have a bunch of owls around is because of their pellets. Owl pellets turn out to be a very good fertilizer, which our crops love. So, we keep a bunch of owls around, and we do a mixture of old school fertilizer and the owl pellets. But if you don't want to go the old school route, I'm going to show you the old school route, but if you don't want to go the old school route, you want to go new age, then get yourself a bunch of owls. Not only will the pellets help with your crops, it also, if you have a bunch of tamed gotcha, the owl pellets provide a buff so that when you're getting the gotcha to give you your crystals, well, there's a chance you get better shit out of it. More shit out of it. So, go and tame yourself a bunch of owls.
Alright, Mac. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so when I was over there talking about the owl pellets, I told you that was the new age way of doing things. Now, when I was coming up as a youngin', we did it the old school way. And right now I'm going to flip over to this body cam thing this jag-off has strapped to me. And I'm going to show you the old school way, hands-on, how to do old school fertilizer. Takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Couple of steps that you need. First of all, you're going to need yourself a Mr. and a Mrs. Poopy Pants. You go out and you tame yourself a Mr. and a Mrs. Poopy Pants, and they are going to be very good friends to you. The other thing that you're going to need is a compost bin, and essentially what's going to happen here is you put shit and thatch in here, and over time it converts into fertilizer. But in order to do that, first of all, you do definitely need yourself a Mr. and a Mrs. Poopy Pants. You're also going to need one of these bins. You're also going to need some stem berries, and you're going to need some mayho berries, and you're going to need a bunch of thatch. Okay, so this is how she works right here. I'm going to show you. You take something like, I don't know, that many maybe. And let's just go ahead and we're just going to throw them right into Mr. Poopy Pants. And there's a couple of things I want you to watch on the screen now. I want you to watch his food. Okay, I want you to watch how fast his food depletes. Okay? Also, in the background, watch what happens. So if you got these here stem berries and you just hold the E button, that's force feeding Mr. Poopy Pants. And as you can see, his food is going down rapidly, because that's what these here stem berries do to this here pig. The reason that you feed him the stem berries is because, as you can clearly see, it gives him the shits. And you need all this shit. So, press F, pick it all up. Now, before you go over to your bin, make sure that you got some mayho berries or some other type of food, or make sure that there's a food trough close, because he's going to have to replenish his food, and these piggies, they eat a bunch. So just keep that in mind. Once you got your shit, you're going to bring it over here. And as you can see, Mr. and Mrs. Poopy Pants have been working overtime. There is already a bunch of shit in here. I believe this one's full too. Yes, it is. So what you want to do is you want to take some thatch. You want to put it in there. And as you can see, over time, this will create fertilizer. So that's one old school way of doing fertilizer. The other old school way requires you to go out and tame a bunch of dung beetles. And if you don't know how to tame you a dung beetle, I'm telling you, there ain't no experience like it. You find these buggers in some of the most dangerous crooks and nicks and crannies of every deep dark corner that you can find. And they're always surrounded by really dangerous shit. But what you need to do is you need to take a giant feces from another animal, come up behind this sucker, shove it up in its ass, and it starts to tame. It's weird. After you shove, I don't know, maybe 2-3 those giant shit balls up its ass from a different creature, follows you home. I don't know, it's weird, man. It's weird, but anyway, this is what you want to do. You want to get yourself a bunch of these suckers, and you want to make sure that you get them in cages too, because if not, they're gonna run away on you. But what you want to do is, through the cage, you can maybe. No, I can't do it through the cage right now. Usually you can. Access the inventory, and what you want to do is you want to put as much shit as that dung beetle is gonna hold. Now, as you can see, the weight pretty shitty. Now, usually what I do with my dung beetles is I always jack up the weight, because the more shit it can hold, the more shit it'll produce. So, after you're done putting all your shit in your beetle, go over to behavior, enable wandering, and shut that gate. Now, what that's going to do is, over time, he's going to wander, and he's going to convert that shit into 2 things that we so desperately need. And one of them is fertilizer. Oh no, wait a minute, did I fuck that up? No, it creates oil too, don't it? Those are the 2 old school ways of getting yourself some fertilizer. Now, obviously, this is probably the faster, more efficient way, because as long as you've got your owls out and they are close to a food bin, every time they eat or such, it's like, instead of pooping, owls don't poop. They give you pellets. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Moving on. Back here in the barn.
Oh, hold on, Mac. We're gonna reset.
Well, what does reset mean again?
Cut, Mac.
Cut what?